Okay, y'all, so I'm here again for another casual Katie Get Ready With Me. Once again overtired, once again getting barely any sleep last night, so once again, I have like my third cup of coffee for the day, a very bare face that could use some covering, and I just want to sit down and have another casual Katie Get Ready With Me while I use the Shacki Cosmetics Eyeshadow palette that they sent me, and just chit-chatting with you guys a little bit about MLMs and my thoughts on it, and just a lot of rambling. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. The under eye circles are strong today, but we're gonna do my eyeshadow. So this is what we're gonna be using. So maybe this green with in the crease with this gold, blue, maybe that in the outer corner. We're gonna do something like that. I kind of just, you guys know if you've seen my previous videos, I just kind of do it and create it as I go along, chatting and whatnot. But yeah, I've been wanting to try this on camera for so long, and I'm finally getting the chance to it. This isn't the first time I've used it. It's actually like the last time I'm gonna use it before I had it, you know, my review set with it and I go on to review it for you guys, but I want to use it at least one time on camera, so hence today's video. But let's go ahead. I'm just gonna take up like that green and I'm going to put that all into my crease. I will say with this palette, I feel like the mattes aren't exactly, they're not terrible, but they're definitely not the strong point of this palette, which is a little disappointing for me. Oh, I should say I use the ABH eyeshadow primer base. Anyway, I would say that the mattes aren't the strongest point in this palette, but there are also not many of them, which is an issue for me. I think there's only 6, you know, majority of them are shimmers. And then also with the mattes, there is no really deep matte to use if you like, you know, really deepening out your looks and whatnot. So that's another point that I'm just kind of like, I just wish there was more of them and more depth and whatnot. Okay, so now, I see that's the hard part with this palette. There's really no deep colors if you're like me, someone who likes to smoke out your outer corner, because this shade, which looks to be the darkest even though it is the shimmer, is actually the shade in the middle. And I don't know, it's a little bit deep. That's what I'm going to use today, so we'll see how deep I can get this, but it doesn't, it's more of a duochrome, and so it doesn't have the depth that I personally like. Anyway, we're gonna use that Selena. We're just gonna pack it on the outer corner and see what that does. But yeah, oh my goodness, I don't think I really slept much at all last night. I'm up with Levi at this point, and he is, I'm guessing he's teething, because that's the only thing I can think that would be the reason. But even with it, even if it is teething, like has all of his molars and all of like the front 4, top and bottom. So he's gone through teething before in the past, but this is like nightmarish compared to those. I think I've heard that the canines can be particularly painful. I don't remember it being that noteworthy with Olivia and Gideon, but I also have a terrible memory, so maybe I've just forgotten that horror. But oh my goodness, Levi, like usually when he's teething, I'm used to him just waking up more often, like maybe 2, 3, 4 times in the middle of the night wanting to eat, and then he'll go back down or whatnot. But this go around with whatever he's dealing with, he wakes up about 2 to 3 hours after he goes down, so like maybe an hour after I've gone down to bed. Maybe, sometimes it's even less than that. And he just wakes up, you know, I feed him like I normally would, but when I go to try to lay him back down, every single time I lay him back down in his crib, he wakes back up screaming and crying for me, and he just he won't go down. I'll try so many different ways of like, you know, making sure he's like really out, making sure he's not too out, so he's aware that he's going to his crib. I've tried it all, but after like a couple hours last night, I think it was like around 2 of just like me sitting up trying to feed him, I was like, okay, something's got to give, because I'm about to like fall over and just fall asleep in here. So I went and laid on the couch with him on me, and he slept better. I didn't sleep because he, you know, I can't really move with him laying on me. I went and put him down into his room whenever my husband got up, like at 5:30 or something, and I crashed for like 30 minutes, I think, until I had to get up with the kids after my husband left. And I should say, I typically tend to pre-film these, so like today, it's April 26th, so by the time you see this, it might even be middle of May, end of May, I have no idea. So I'm probably doing fine now, so no worries. You guys are always so sweet whenever I do these videos of saying like, oh, I hope he's feeling better, whatnot. I would hope he's feeling better and sleeping better by the time I put this video out. I'm looking for a glitter glue. I'm going to use this one from the Alamar Cosmetics, the Pero Primer. So let's go ahead and jump in. I think I'm going to do, what was I going to do? I think I was going to do the gold into the purple. I might go in with a little blue. I feel like the blue is a little much, so I feel like I should just stick to the gold, but that blue just looks so pretty. And I feel like the blue will go into the purple nicely. So let me just start with the gold. We'll put it on the inner corner, and maybe I'll change my mind because I feel like the blue would give a really interesting pop to this look. Because right now it's just kind of like a grungy gold, green, purple vibe. But that blue would be something different. Anyway, as I was getting ready, I was like, you know what? I've been like stewing and thinking over MLMs and anti-MLM and whatnot. And I did a video, gosh, months ago, kind of asking for your guys' input on it. I'll leave it linked up here or whatnot, if I can remember. I'm pretty sure it was a video I did with Annette, so it should be pretty easy to find. And I was asking your guys' inputs on like MLM, if I should, you know, what your stance is, if you think MLMs are like crazy predatory, and what your experience is. And I shared a little bit about my experience. And ever since that video, like I think it was shortly after that video went up, the anti-MLM community had a bunch of drama. And I was following a lot of people at the time, so I was a silent observer. And that whole situation still fascinates me so much. Like I follow so many people, you know, in the anti-MLM community still, and so many people who are involved in that drama still. And I've just been kind of just silently watching and, you know, taking it all in and hearing everyone's sides. And it's just very, I have so many thoughts. I have so many times I wanted to come on here and do a casual Katie Get Ready With Me talking about my thoughts on all of that happened with all the people involved, but at the same time I feel like it's kind of finally been put to rest. So I'm not honestly, like I'm not looking to stroke the pot or anything or get anything going, but as someone who's been just this silent observer this whole time, I definitely feel like I have all these unanswered questions and thoughts that haven't been addressed or whatnot, as like just a viewer of it. And I don't know, I have no one to talk to but y'all, no one in my personal life, you know, that I can talk to about it. So I feel like that's the only reason I'm like so tempted to do a video all on my thoughts on the anti-MLM drama. I don't know. Let me know if you were, you know, if you were in the anti-MLM community watching or whatnot and you saw it happen. Because I like watched it all unfold. Like I watched Kimberly's live stream that she did when she left the community. I was there for all of it. I just happened to be on, and then I just listened to all of it because it was something. So I've kind of, yeah, been there from the beginning. I was following all of it beforehand, and it was funny. It was interesting because I had a lot of thoughts before all this kind of exploded, that I feel like were brought to light and kind of addressed a little bit due to all the drama. See, that's an interesting mix. Anyway, I don't know. I still go back and forth with if I should do kind of a chatty video like this on that drama, because I really don't want to stir anything up. I feel like everyone's been through enough. But as someone who observed it, like I wish I had a best friend who was also very interested in the anti-MLM community, so I could just chat about it and be able to vocalize some things that I was thinking and that I've been thinking. And that's another thing, it's like I guess it's over. We're kind of left hanging because it was like all these receipts were going to be coming out, and then literally no receipts came out. Anyway, okay, we're gonna move past that. Katie, stop it. I'm gonna just start talking about it, and then all my talk of not wanting to cause drama doing a video on it will be for naught, because I will have done a video on it. So moving on from that, in that video I had asked about y'all's thoughts on it, and kind of like I was very torn in my stance on it. And I asked in the video like what you guys, since you guys are my viewers, you're my audience, like I feel like your opinion matters the most, not everyone else's opinion out there, just the people who watch me. And so I asked you your thoughts, and most people, a lot of people on that video were like, I would never buy from an MLM. I definitely don't think, you know, that they're right. I think they're predatory, but at the same time, I wouldn't be like canceling you or unsubscribing from you if you did mention them, as long as you're just upfront about it being an MLM and not trying to like cloak and dagger it and make it look like it's just a normal affiliate program, if that makes sense. So that's kind of like was the consensus of the majority. Some people, I think, you know, it's been a while since I read those comments. Some people were a little bit like, I'd rather you not. Some people were like, yeah, I'd be gone. I think very few people actually said like, I would unsubscribe. Most everyone was just like, I'd rather not, or I really don't care, I just won't buy it, so do whatever you want to do, it's your channel kind of attitude. So I've been stewing over it for so long. And then with all the anti-MLM drama that was happening, I was kind of like, you know, just watching it and reflecting and whatnot. But through all the drama, I feel like I was able to kind of spend a lot of time thinking about it, because I mean, I watched tons of videos of people covering the drama, and I've just found a lot of other creators who talk about it. So I've just been watching more content about it a lot, and I've kind of come to the point where I definitely wouldn't actively promote, I definitely wouldn't sell any type of MLM product on my channel. I don't like it. I don't like the structure of it, having so much pressure on recruiting and whatnot. However, I do think there's some people who get involved with these MLMs with the purpose and the intent to just want to sell the product and just want to do it from selling product. They're not looking to recruit wise. And for those type of people, when I come into contact with them, I personally don't feel a problem if I really do want to try it or, you know, help them out or whatever the case is of purchasing it or mentioning it. You know, if I, like today, this is a Lula Rose. I'm not promoting it or anything. I got it on sale because the person who I got it from isn't selling it anymore because of all, you know, the stuff that happened. But like, I wouldn't feel like I couldn't wear this shirt because it's a Lula Rose, or it's not a shirt, it's a dress. Anyway, I just kind of feel like, hey, I'll wear it. If anyone asks, I'll tell them. Like, I don't think it's that big a deal. But as far as like on my channel as well, I feel like, I don't know, see that this outer corner shade is a duochrome, so I think that's why it's messing me up, because I feel like it's a little patchy here, but I think that's just the duochromeness of it making it look like that. But anyway, I would definitely never encourage anyone to sign up with an MLM, but more so this applies, I guess, to my personal life. Like, I just don't have a problem if a friend, you know, sells an MLM of buying from them. But I feel like it's just gonna be something I keep off of my channel. Anyways, that's kind of where I'm at. I definitely do think that, like, especially some people who are higher up, I think it's just the nature of the beast. If you want to be higher up, they're just so predatory. You hear them talking and trying to recruit people, and it's just like, ick. But like, at the same time, like I was saying, I know so many people also who sell and who are never pressured, definitely is never actively recruiting or not, or whatnot. Some people I know who's been selling it for years, they just kind of sell it to whoever of their friends want it. They don't really want to make a business of it, but they just enjoy the products themselves. So every so often they'll make an order and then order for their friends, kind of thing. And I don't know, I don't see a problem. I definitely feel like this is something, I don't know, as is with life, that I'm progressing and still mulling over, and, you know, might still change my mind in the coming months and maybe even in the coming weeks. Who knows, after this video goes live, if you guys tell me and I learn new information. I have so much sparkle on my fingers. Worst part of dealing with shimmer and then having to move to your face is trying not to get sparkle all over your face. But I don't know, that's just kind of where I'm at with MLMs at the present moment. You know, I'm definitely not going to actively promote them. It's not like I'm looking to review them, but if I get it and I don't know, I feel like it's something worth talking to you about, I don't see a problem mentioning it, as long as, like you know, some people pointed out, as long as I'm very clear that it is an MLM, so that whoever's watching my video knows it, and I would never want anyone to unwittingly be like, oh, Katie reviewed this, let me go buy it. Oh wait, it's an MLM, and feel tricked. Like, that's never gonna be my intention at all. So I'd always be super upfront about it. I'm not anti-MLM in the sense that a lot of people are like, anti-MLM, you don't support them at all, you call them out, and you don't buy from them. I'm definitely not anti-MLM, but at the same time, I wouldn't call myself pro-MLM, because I definitely don't think people should join the business if you're looking to make money, because it's such a yucky type of business to join. If you want to make money, I just feel like so many people have to get hurt in the process, or you have to feel so scummy getting there. That, I don't know, so I wouldn't call myself a pro-MLM either. So I have no idea where that leaves me. Somewhere in the middle. What's new, Katie? I don't know what to do for my eyeliner today. Kind of want to try this just because it's, hasn't been used, but it's such a fun, like, fluorescent yellow, green. I guess it's more yellow, that's the green. This is from Midas, their pastel cake liner, so maybe I'll do that into, I'm just gonna go for it. So let's do that. I got new brushes I picked up from Walmart, so this should be fun. They're for nail art brushes, so they got the dotting tool, but I'm just using it for this side. So anyway, that's kind of my stance on it. Also too, I was thinking about talking a little bit about, like, MLM, comparing, like, a lot of people like to compare MLMs to YouTubers, and like they're the same thing. Like, YouTube's kind of like an MLM because, and someone in that video left me a comment kind of explaining the comparison and why they drew that conclusion. Okay, hang on, I gotta do this. Okay, maybe not the best angle. This is also a little bit stubbier than I'm used to, so it's a little bit more rough. I don't know, the longer it is, the easier it is to get a fluid line. But anyway, now I'm gonna go into that darker green, I think, and make the rest of the wing, and then I'll see what I want to do. Maybe I'll put some black in there. But anyway, someone in that video actually left me a comparison of saying, like, you know, in the same way that, you know, people go into debt trying to do an MLM, it's the same with YouTube, because people go into debt trying to do YouTube, and then you're kind of kept to like selling things on YouTube in the same way that MLMers are. I definitely see the differences in that, like, you don't have to pay to do YouTube, in that you don't have to pay YouTube anything to have a YouTube channel. However, I do see the argument in that there's a lot of, not pressure, I don't even know, but just like expectation of like, you have to buy a camera, you have to, well, not that you have to either, because a lot of people will say, well, you don't have to get, you know, buy any of those things, but a lot of people feel like it's necessary. I feel like when you're starting a channel, like I'm definitely someone who, I wouldn't have started it before. Like so many people say, just start on your phone, and I maybe it's just my weird personality, but I wouldn't have. I would have wanted to get a camera and like, you know, some kind of official setup. So there is this kind of expectation pressure that you can feel like you have to spend a lot of money, and if you don't end up doing it, or it doesn't end up going well for you, you can also, you know, you lose a lot of money. Like I hear so many stories of people trying YouTube and spending all this money trying to keep up with the latest and greatest. And you know, if my channel wasn't as it is right now, being able to get some money from it through AdSense, like I spend so much money on makeup that if I did not have a channel, I would not spend anywhere near the amount that I do. But I spend it because I've kind of set my channel up as an eyeshadow palette review channel, and therefore I try to keep up with the newer palettes. I'm veering away a little bit from that this year. Not substantially. I know I have the perseverance or the resilience or the determination of like, I don't know, what's a really weak plant, because I feel like I see a new pretty palette and I'm like, oh yes, I want it. But I'm trying to cut back a little bit. Not that I'm not going to review palettes anymore, because I definitely will, but I want to mix it up on my channel to do kind of more evenly dispersed, using my older palettes that I have and reviewing new ones. That's kind of been my goal for 2021. But anyway, I have no idea where I was going with that. But all that, I think I was just saying that, like, I spend a lot of money buying new products to review, or like buying, like I bought new lights this past year, or this, honestly, like this Simple Human mirror. I would never have bought this mirror if I didn't do YouTube. I kind of took it as like a purchase for my channel, and that's the only reason I bought it, just to make it easier to do my eye looks and whatnot, and a little bit better and whatnot. But like, if I didn't have a channel, my $20 mirror from Ross that was double-sided, that's what I used before this, and it worked just fine. So there's definitely an aspect to YouTube, at least beauty YouTube. I really don't know any other YouTube communities like I do beauty, obviously. But there's an aspect of like, you can go into debt, or you not maybe go into debt, but you can spend a ton of money trying to do the YouTube thing and make it a job and whatnot. And in the same vein of like, you know, MLMs being where you work really hard and you don't get paid much money, and then eventually as you recruit more people and build a bigger team, then you get paid a lot of money. That's not too, I need to stop talking. That's not too far from YouTube. You know, I'm just gonna leave it there. It's not too far from YouTube in that, like, you don't make any money. You know, when you first start a YouTube channel, you have to build it up, build it to, I'm gonna use this Lash Princess. You have to build it to a substantial size, and you have to get good views in order for you to get money, because for the first while you get paid nothing. Kind of like with an MLM. Okay, that's as much time as I want to spend on my lashes today. Not really in the mood to make them anything substantial. Honestly, especially recently, if I'm not filming a video, I've just been omitting doing mascara altogether, because I don't know, I don't care. The fun part for me when it comes to eyeshadow is my eyeshadow, obviously, or like the fun part of doing my eyes is the eyeshadow. I really don't care about the lashes. I'm gonna use this today. This is something new I picked up from Ulta Beauty when it was on sale. It's the Flower Beauty Get Real Serum Foundation. I'm still on the quest to find a nice serum-y, you know, not matte, very lightweight foundation that looks more skin and it's more light on my face. So this looks like it should be a good match for me. Let me dab this on. But anyway, I don't remember where I left off. What was I saying? I think there can be this pressure. Oh, I think I was just talking about the fact that like you don't get paid for a long time with YouTube, if ever. You know, you have to get, I forget what the requirements are now, but even when you meet those requirements, if you just barely meet those requirements, you're not getting paid that much from YouTube. You really have to get a substantial amount. I forget how many views I had to get like consistently every month in order to meet that $100 threshold. And even that $100, I mean, $100 a month is nice, but it's also, you know, not like you're making enough for a full-time job kind of thing. So you do have to also build your channel up and get big enough on YouTube in order to make it a full-time job. So like I see the similarities there as well when we're talking about like MLM being similar, like YouTube and MLMs being similar. I don't know if it's all MLMers, but I've definitely seen that argument floating around. I mean, maybe different genres or different communities on YouTube are going to be super different, but I feel like with beauty, if you want to blow up fast, you have to get the new stuff very, very quickly, so that you just have to, you know, spend a lot of money and whatnot. And especially in the beginning, if you're like, you know, new starting out, you're not being sent any PR, so you're not getting anything early or, you know, getting anything for free to help with the money. So you're just spending. So I feel like you can very easily fall into that trap. And it's maybe obviously the big difference is that it's a trap that I guess you fall into, and it's your own doing, and it's not someone else tricking you so much into joining an MLM. And that's another thing that I definitely think with MLMs, like they're just so sleazy and slimy when it comes to it. It's like there's so many times I go on a profile and they're talking about this great opportunity and you can't find the brand name anywhere, and I'm just like, why would you work for a company where you can't even, like, it's almost like it's just, there's a fear and just this big no-no of even mentioning the company. I'm like, why would you want to work for a company where you can't even tell people the name of the company? I just think that's so weird. I just saw today, I was scrolling on Instagram, their reels, and I came across a hun because it was something about, you know, I never thought that I could do this, but I'm now making a full-time income. I'm a stay-at-home mama too, and helping other women discover the power within, you know, the usual spiel. But anyway, I clicked over to the her Instagram page and I looked around a good bit. She had no link to go anywhere, and she had nowhere. No, I looked around a good bit, but of course I could have missed it. I didn't dissect her page, but I couldn't find the name of it anywhere. So it was probably, my guess was Monet, but then I looked at a highlight about her hair care routine and she didn't mention or show the products. So then I'm thinking probably Arbonne. I really don't know. I don't care. But anyway, just to say that it's just so weird that they hide. It's so bad, and I'm sure they would say it's because of the stigma around MLMs, but I don't know, it just makes you just feel 10 times more scammy when you can't even be upfront about the company you work for. You have to be like, oh, DM me for more information because I can't even tell you the name of it. I don't know, that just makes me, it just takes them from being like, oh, you know, your company's not the greatest, like I really don't like MLMs, and it just takes you from like that level of not really liking you to like way up here where it's like, ugh, like you just now seem 10 times more scammy. I don't think this concealer is going to cover up the acne spots I have between my brows. I get ingrown hairs really bad between my brows, and then I was wearing my sunglasses a lot this weekend because we were outside, and so it just like rubbed and rubbed in this spot. So I know that's why I have this humongous zit coming up, and it's still coming. I can feel it. That was the Flower Beauty concealer. I don't think I even said that. I think I just put it on. This is a full coverage concealer. I definitely agree that's pretty full coverage. I like how much coverage I got. Now I'm gonna go in with the Flower Beauty Miracle Matte Translucent Finishing Powder. I just got all sorts of Flower Beauty. I've always wanted to try this ever since Tati raved about it way back when. How do you open this? So anyway, yeah, I'm just kind of rambling when it comes to my thoughts on MLMs. Like I don't want you guys to, I don't want to come across as me saying like, yes, MLMs and YouTube, trying to do YouTube full time is exactly the same. I'm just kind of wanting to point out the similarities that like I think, yes, they're different. I'm not saying that they're very similar, but there are also aspects that are like eerily similar when it comes to, you know, just trying to do YouTube and spending all this money and then not getting the watch hours and not getting paid for your time and whatnot, and having to do that, you know, side hustle for free essentially. And maybe I just see it so obviously because I am on YouTube and because I did YouTube so long for free essentially, and because I still don't get paid. I mean, I get paid, I'm very blessed. I get paid a nice amount, but in the grand scheme of things, I'm not getting paid anywhere near full or part-time job. I'm just gonna go on with the rest of my face. I don't think I have anything new in that respect. But yeah, so just to kind of finish it up, I don't really have much more to say. I mean, I have a lot to say when it comes to anti-MLM and MLM, but like for this video, not too much more to say except that, like, I don't know. I think my stance is just gonna be right in the middle, like it's always been. It's frustrating. Like, I wish I could just be like, yes, I'm obviously anti-MLM, never buying from them. But at the same time, I know if I said that, I'd just be a hypocrite because, you know, maybe on my YouTube channel, I'd be very careful to not ever show or feature or anything like that. But then in my personal life, I wouldn't be that way. So I don't want to do that. I just feel like that's a little fake. So if I'm going to hold a stance of like, you know, kind of take it by case basis, as, you know, if someone comes to me wanting, you know, a friend of mine has the business or, you know, is having a party and wants to know if I want to buy anything and I see something I'm interested in and the price isn't absolutely ridiculous, then I'll probably end up buying it. So that's kind of just my attitude with MLMs. And, you know, when it comes to my channel, definitely I will be very upfront if I ever do mention like using any I'm gonna use Flower Beauty. I forgot I had this one, so might as well since I'm going all Flower Beauty on my face. But if I ever use you know, any kind of MLM product in my videos, to be very upfront to make sure you know, because like I said, I would not, my intention is never to like have anyone come to my video and trust my opinion and then, you know, go to check out the product and find out it's an MLM and feel duped in any way. Like, that's definitely not something I want to do. But it's also hard too because like the Body Shop is technically an MLM. I've never met a distributor in my life. I've bought the Body Shop products many times from the Body Shop and from Ulta. So it's kind of like, I don't know, that's just a little weird because it's like, how do you, I don't know, let you know that it's an MLM? If someone didn't tell me that it was an MLM, I would never have known because like I said, I've never met a distributor. I'm just going in with the Gimme Glow. I've never met a distributor in my life, so I would have just like recommended something to you in passing on a video or something and be like, oh yeah, I love this Body Shop. And then someone would have been like, it could have been, I'm not saying this happened, but could have been like, Katie, you know, you're trying to sell us an MLM and not even disclose. And I would have just been like, I had no idea they're an MLM. So it's definitely like a human error aspect to it that makes me very scared because I'm only, you know, one person. We're learning stuff every day. Ooh, that's such a pretty highlight. It's like a glittery highlight, but it's very pretty. Oh my goodness, we have to do the lower lashes. I was kind of ready to finish out this video and wait a minute. Let me go ahead and use, I'm just gonna use this pencil. This is from NYX Epic Wear in Emerald Cut. Okay, so now let's go back into this palette. Should I use something else just to be able to show you guys? Because I only use the one matte, even though that worked really well to deepen out there. Let's go ahead and use something different. I think I'm gonna go with, let's go with this one right there, just to use something different. I really have no great rhyme or reason. See how it looks, but I'm gonna take that Yolanda and put it right under here. That'll be a nice pop with the green. Okay, and then for the inside, I'm just going to brush that off. Should I use the orange just because I'm eyeing it? Let's use that orange. Why not on the inner portion? It's like a corally orange, I think. So yeah, I don't really have much more to say about MLMs, but I just kind of wanted to chat a little bit about that. Let me know if you guys followed the drama, the anti-MLM drama with Kimberlea and Emily Leah. Let me know if you guys followed that, kind of what your synopsis was. I'm not looking to start anything. I'm not looking to like name color anything, but if like you can just be very vague and just tell me like, did you feel like it's all completed, it's kind of all wrapped up and done with, or do you feel like there's a lot missing? Do you feel like it didn't end well? I don't know, just let me know your thoughts, because I feel, like I said, it's kind of like it's all done, but it just also it feels like things were left hanging at the same time, and kind of like I was saying, like they're all this, we're gonna go with this one. I don't want it to be too dark in my inner corner. But yeah, it's just, I feel like I was expecting more once Emily Leah came back, and then it's kind of just like, wait, I guess it's all done, because like Emily Leah hasn't posted in forever. And her last video, I don't know. I don't think it really was that much of a firebomb as I think that she thought it was going to be, because it didn't really prove anything. Like I said, I don't want to start anything. That's definitely not my intent. I don't want anyone to leave any nasty comments to anyone involved or to anyone who did videos in, or anyone in the anti-MLM or the MLM community. Not my intent, and if you leave something super nasty, I will delete it because I don't think that needs to be out there, you know, name calling, or just some of the things that were said about the people involved were not very nice. So anyway, I just like to know your overall thoughts and opinions, because I do know some of the people who follow me are active or do watch the anti-MLM community. So I'd love to hear kind of like your overall thoughts. Did you think it like ended well? Were you happy with the way it ended? So that's kind of where I'm going to leave this at. This is the finished look. I will, per usual, stick a close-up on the screen so you guys can see. I really like how the look turned out. I love the mix of colors. You guys know me, I like the interesting mix, you know, when it comes to eyeshadows, eyeshadow looks, and I really got that with this palette. It definitely, I will say, for it not having enough mattes for me, it definitely does stretch me because it has so many shimmers and not enough mattes. I have to get really creative with where I put things and whatnot to not get too repetitive and just to, you know, do stuff different. So in that respect, that's nice. But yeah, overall, it's a nice palette. I will be giving my full review on it very, very soon. But anyway, that's gonna do it for me. Thank you so much for just listening to me ramble on and on. I hope this wasn't too long, drawn out, and boring. But yeah, with that said, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye, guys.